So this is me. Thinking big is like the joke, like I'm 1.50 meters, thinking big. Yeah. So my invitation for you tonight, and thank you for the invitation, thank you for the open door, is kind of creating a connection. Anita is showing her boobs to inspire me, so she already did. So it's basically taking creativity. She wasn't. It was a joke. Taking creativity into a walk on daily life, and this is basically what I'm trying to do here. You know, taking you into a walk and make some jokes, eventually not so funny jokes, to create this connection that Anita was talking before. So I see creativity. I'm an expert on creativity. If we can say I'm an expert in whatever field. I'm from positive psychology, so like leadership things is my thing as well. I work a lot as a solo entrepreneur in a project called Thinking Big, and I work a lot in companies developing talks and workshops on these themes, positive psychology and creativity. And my main goal is to create expansion in what we can be. This is me talking seriously about my job, but actually, one of the things I wanted to come and bring you tonight is how can we merge our passions. So yeah, when I present myself, I say yes, I studied 7 years of psychology, so I'm a serious person, but I'm also a dancer. And I'm barely foot very often, and I teach dance classes also, And sometimes I'm wearing boots and sometimes I'm barefoot. And it's the same professional, it's the same goal, the same aim of touching people, connecting people. And my question to you is, how are you merging your passions? Anita is a facilitator, and she's also a clown. Some people like anime, and they bring that to leadership and to the field. So my question is, how can we merge our passions in the things we do in daily life and also at work, where we are very serious but not so serious? Another thing is, use wherever resources you have to inspire others, but to goodness. The world is collapsing, chaos is around, kind of very, very weird things are happening. How can we use our personal resources to increase goodness? Anita was telling that about connection, about getting closer, about getting in touch with people that have no other resources. We can be their resources, like you're saying at coffee break. So what kind of resources do you have to create impact in others? This is me in a gala of a company. Usually I'm teaching workshops in a very serious way. This is me basically doing stand-up comedy for a gala for a company. Why? I don't know, because sometimes I speak funny. People thought that maybe I could be funny for an hour. They were wrong, of course. And I was hired to make, like stand-up comedy. Like, I studied 7 years of positive psychology. I'm supposed to be serious. For 1 hour I was just telling jokes. Why? Because this company needed lightness. They needed, not so serious stuff. People need to laugh. People need to connect and touch. Not touch too much. Well, that's all. We should touch more. Another thing is explore your strengths in different contexts. This is being creative. This is me working in cafes in France. So once again, a master's degree, my mother was like, what are you basically doing here in your life, Mas que é que estás a fazer à tua vida, minha filha? Working in a cafe, and I was waitering dishes, and this one was also nice. It was a tea house, but this one I was literally peeling potatoes, and I learned so much in kitchens. I learned humbleness. I learned not knowing the language. People asking me to pass them things like, well, what do you really need? These or these. I don't even know the name of what we are talking about. And this humbleness was one of my strengths, one thing that I should be developing, So what are you developing in context, and which contexts are pulling you from your comfort zone? The other thing is transform what happens to you into something meaningful. Last year it was my horribilis year, the year when you want to cut your veins and cut everything in your body because you are suffering, the separation year. And one day I was like, I'm suffering so much, not willing to leave. These kind of, it's not only me, I'm sure that all of us went through these beautiful shop of emotions. And I said, you know what, I'm not alone in here. I'm not, in sadness, in despair, in not even recognizing myself and my face in the mirror. And I work in positive psychology, and people are used to say, yeah, you are always, happy. I'm not, I cry. And when I cry, believe me, Anita can prove, we are good friends, I really cry, and I'm like really annoyed. And I wanted to convey that message. If we are working in positive psychology, if we are working in interventions with people, let's show them the other side. Let's show them authenticity. So I transform my emotions into portraits, and we created, along with a photographer, a professional one, in Porto. We created an exhibition around emotions, and all the emotions we can feel like humans. So this exhibition is now, turning around Portugal, and opening space to speak about real emotions. So yeah, transform whatever into something else. Another thing is portray your path and recreate how you see yourself. And this is about aging. I'm 44. 10 years ago, I was fresh like these, these gray hairs, they weren't here. My belly was not this big. I was different, and now maybe I have more wisdom, maybe I have less energy, maybe I'm more tired, and this is aging. And we cannot run away from that or hide it, because it's kind of, how can I portray myself aging beautifully or not so beautifully aging? And what happens when we bring people that are not so fresh, not so young, not so active into real life, into work, at workplaces, like, let's highlight the best in us when we are also aging. Another thing is improvise. This is me basically teaching at university. This year I had a student that had a child. One day she had to take her child to the class. You can imagine the chaos it was in style, a 4-year-old running around the class. I was trying to teach something, trying to write on the board. And at one point I said, you know what, let's play with chaos. There's a baby here, I'm going to ignore it, I'm going to put the mother out of the class, I'm going to say this is university. Let's play, let's take ourselves let's take ourselves less seriously. Let's incorporate real life in what real life should be. So yeah, incorporate, improvise, and let's be more humble once again. Then is question the obvious, and in what you can and what you can't do. This is also me, not this one, not in another life, but this is also me. And I love this challenge of what else can I do? What else can I be? I'm 44. I can barely touch my, I'm a dancer, but I'm not a pro dancer. But this kind of, what else can I do with my body? What else can I do with my physical body? But not only my physical body, my skills. What else can I do? So this is me doing acro yoga, and I'm not an acro yoga professional, the same way I'm not a stand-up comedian or wherever. I'm just doing different things. I'm just trying different things. What if we try different things at work? What if we try different paths at work as well? And once you learn it, maybe you can teach others too. And this is the funny part. This is me and my kids, and this is me trying to teach them how to acro yoga with me. Are we professionals? We aren't. But this capacity of taking people on board with your passions, is the same. You learn something out of your company. You bring the passion to your company, and you can make these things contagious to others as well. Do not believe it's either family or work. This is for me one of my standards in my career. As a solo entrepreneur, I had to take my kid on board since he was 3 years old. I was breastfeeding. I was not okay in letting the baby with wherever, so I was taking him on board. I think half of the companies met my breasts already, and it was not porno companies, not in that time. So, and my question is like, what's the problem? Yeah, it's awkward when you enter into a meeting room with a baby. It's awkward at the beginning. Then people are like, okay, well, apparently this is what it is. And people get used to it. And the more you do it, the more people take it like, okay, it's weird at first. It's like Coca-Cola. At the beginning it's weird, and then you cannot pass it out. So it's kind of, we are built to believe that we have to choose worlds. And if we want to be good parents, we have to, not go so much to work. we can do both. And this is, my openness on creativity is like, how can we merge people into places, and taking kids to work, maybe, or taking work and work with kids, which is hard. And then it's show the world, show your world to others. If you take anime to the company because you like anime, if you take clowning, and what you learn with clowning to facilitation settings, you are opening worlds to others. You are showing others that the world is not only the thing that you are used to be and used to do. So the more we show our worlds to the others, the more the world itself, it expands and it gets beautiful, it gets beautiful. And I really believe we need beauty, poetry, and some meaning in this world. So this is basically me traveling chaos, saying like, yes, of course I can travel alone with my 2 kids, like, what was that brilliant idea? It's hard, but it's doable. And then to finish, like, they're stopping, We are always on the verge of overdoing, oversharing, like they're stopping. Nothing happens when we stop producing, stop doing, stop showing up. Stopping is a nice place. Also, go outside, People work so much indoor. It's a beautiful building, but real life, it's not this building, Real life has grass and some trees and some clouds. Sometimes it rains, it's cold. It's also nice. So take people outside. Invite people to go for walk and talks on their phones instead of, in beautiful buildings. And then go and hunt some beauty and some bears if you eventually catch some. So I hope you are ready to take action and go and walk this creativity path in your daily life. My invitation is, how are you going to do it after now? Thank you so much.